To whom read? Greetings and salutations. The universe is just doomed. 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 Doomed.
Nature to take its course. In the end, it will anyway. So let me the fucking house!
What are the chances I'm having fingering problems on this episode? We are now recording, but I had a hard time pushing the record button.
Wow, that's ironic.
Hi, it's me, Nicole.
And me, Tessa. Welcome back.
And Liana is here.
As the roller coaster ride operator. Oh, which, by the way, before we even get into anything, I'm just going to let you know right now, you could still go there. It is at Playland in Vancouver, BC. It's called The Coasters. You sit in the front row, finger bang your date. Just letting you know. Because we're doing Fear.
Fear, 1996. But you said it's technically an anniversary?
It's technically an anniversary. It was filmed in 1994. Didn't come out till 1996. So
did it say what took so long?
No? No, just said that. Just said that.
The person editing the film was afraid of Mark Wahlberg and
right.
was like,
they were like, I don't know about this guy.
I feel real uncomfortable.
Is he a method actor? He didn't have to.
This is just him.
This is just who he is.
So it's Mark Wahlberg as David McCall.
Mackie Mac.
Reese Witherspoon
or
as
without
Nicole
her spoon.
Walker. Or without her spoon.
Will Peterson as Steve Walker.
Amy Brenneman as Laura Walker.
Alyssa Milano as Margo.
Gary Riley as Hacker, but I never
saw
even
that.
saw a
Neither
character.
did I.
He
I
wasn't
saw
in
that
that
too.
Because Gary Riley is the guy from
I
summer
know.
school.
And I wrote that down.
So did he get cut out?
Hold on, maybe.
He wasn't that shaved head guy. No, that wasn't him.
That couldn't possibly have been him. I didn't recognize him. He didn't have a beret on.
If he had no hair and no beret,
then I wouldn't even have known.
We're not going to know. But yeah, and then who played Logan?
Oh, Logan, you mean Bam Margera?
You called him pre-Bam Margera?
Pre-Bam Margera. Tracy Fraim?
Oh, okay.
Tracy
Which
Fraim,
I don't know
if
if I've ever seen him in anything else.
No, it only stands out in this one because of that greasy mop.
So crazy.
Whatever. And the vest.
And not in a hot Ethan Hawke way.
No, not in a hot Ethan Hawke way.
This
like
is
not
beyond
in a
the level
way.
of grease.
No, this is not
want.
the kind of grease you want. He's got, no. I was going to accuse him of something, and I don't know if I will. He does. He's got syphilis. He's going to give you chlamydia. He's definitely going to give you a yeast infection.
And while John Mahoney is not in this film.
No, he's not.
It is in Seattle.
Is it?
I think so.
That was the Space
that's right.
Needle,
It's
right?
in the overhead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're right. I guess they did the establishing shots, but the house and everything is in Vancouver. So
yeah, we start with overhead shots of Seattle, zooming into this teenage girl in the shower because that's where we need to start.
That's where we got to be because she's using up all the hot water because Dad is out there running hard.
Why is he running like he's being chased by zombies in the woods?
Girl, you would have thought that it would have come in handy.
And that's what I was thinking. So I had a note like, what the fuck? Why is he running like he's being chased? And then later I'm like, oh, this is going to come up, right? There's going to be a reason he needed to be. No, he didn't run from anybody.
He needed to be a fast runner.
He ran to the door to slam it, but like
I guess
really,
he made it in time.
That was a sprint.
So
that was a really short sprint.
Cool. He's like a wild runner. He's like a hard.
Yeah, and he
runner.
races the dog to the morning paper.
Right?
Beat ya.
Yeah.
So he's up and had his run and showered before everybody's downstairs for breakfast.
Because he's that kind of guy. He's not a very sympathetic character. He's not a very sympathetic dad.
Not really. And he does not approve of his daughter's outfit. It looks like something you wore when you were 12.
It's a very normal 1994, 96, whatever outfit.
For
and
a
it's
teenager.
really not even that short. She wears shorter things.
Oh, yes.
That he may or may not be aware of later on. But she wears shorter things than this. I mean, what was it? The socks and the Mary Janes, the ruffle socks.
The ruffle socks. Yeah.
Because I don't think it was that bad.
I wore stuff like that.
It's hardly a problem.
So
it's hardly a problem.
And so little step bro comes in, blowing the dog whistle. Dog comes up to him.
I don't think because I remember I went to see this in theaters, but I don't think I remembered after that the boy was the mom's
family,
a blended full-on like whatever family. But yeah, he gets a ride in the Stang just by calling him Dad.
Because, he wants to ride in the cool car to school.
Right, because he says, like, oh, how was your game? I bet your dad
was
thought
real
it
proud
was
of you
cool,
or
and he was like,
whatever.
yeah, he was just there hitting on chicks or whatever. And
My
then
dad doesn't pay attention to me.
nah, man, he calls you dad. I just want to ride in the Stang, bro.
Hell yeah. So you see, Dad gets to work. Nicole arrives at school, and her best friend Margo wants to ditch with their friend Gary,
Right,
To go
they
get some
wanna go.
breakfast or whatever.
Pop off at the coffee shop, like a popping off coffee shop, and like, is that morning time? Is that lunchtime?
I thought it was in the morning, but this has to be lunchtime, right? Like at 8 a.m., these kids are playing pool and fucking.
I don't
this
know
whole
what's happening
place
there.
Is crowded with teenagers.
Is this the coffee shop? Is this the Dot from Degrassi? Because
I don't know.
Oh wait, no,
man.
that was in Toronto. I don't think that was in Vancouver.
Oh.
But yeah, no, like there's nothing else
I don't
going
know
on.
what's-
That there's
yeah,
so many people.
So
in
these
this-
are either older kids that are not in school, or
Well-
these are all the teenagers ditching school.
right. Like no one's caught on.
No
to
one's
this
at
yet.
school today.
No one's
Everybody's
caught
at this
on.
coffee shop.
Right, that's what's going on here. And it's the kind of place where you can get not only a turkey and Gouda, but you could also get a slice of chocolate cake, like for real. What the
Yeah,
fuck are
that-
they ordering at this place? Like,
They were ordering all manner of things. So
Nicole's
you really
like, "We gotta
couldn't
get something to
identify
go."
the time.
we got to get something to go.
But Margo's making eyes at the fucking grease, which why?
he is
Look at
clearly
you.
old enough to
Look
be
at
her
you and
loser
look at-
uncle.
Look at him. Look at you. Look at him.
I know,
You're
ew.
Alyssa fucking Milano.
You're Alyssa fucking Milano.
Why are you making eyes at that guy of all? That place was full of dudes.
I know.
That's the last dude I would have been looking at.
Ugh. I would
That's
look
gross.
at Mocky Mock before I was looking at that
Yes,
guy.
because at least Mocky Mock had that Calvin Klein body from the
Right,
neck
he
down.
was wearing like a bodysuit with that big belt buckle.
It seemed like it was. Did it have a snap crotch mark?
I bet
Let
you
us
it
know.
did if you
Let
like.
us
It was a
know.
Calvin Klein.
Probably.
It was a Calvin Klein.
So yeah, Nicole's all uncomfortable. She wants to go, but she spots Marky Mark up there and is like,
I
"Oh,
know, because he's over there
hey."
doing the little pool cue. She's all, he's jerking off a pool cue.
He's
up
jorking
there.
that
He's
penis like,
jorking that
whoa.
Cunits. I'm over here doing the thing like you can
Like
see
you can
me.
see.
I'm always doing that.
And they both get a flyer to what is it, the fetish club or something
King
like
and
that?
Occidental.
I don't know.
I don't know. That's what I
And
thought
Nicole
I heard.
can't go. She has a family outing.
Because they got to go see James Taylor. Like her
What
dad's
every
like a
16-year-old in
hardcore-
the 90s
right?
wants to
Like
do.
yeah, both of those kids really want to go see James Taylor.
Take your
with their
wife and
fucking
go
folks.
see James Taylor and
Go
give her
finger
some money
her
to
on
order
the lawn
at the
at the
James
James
Taylor
Taylor
concert
concert.
and leave your children at home.
But this show's down by the docks.
And she's like, "Well, she wants to get out of there. She wants to go back to school." But he sees her, she sees him. They both get this flyer. There's a little
Right.
smile exchange.
And she just disappears.
So that's their first quote unquote meeting. No words
Nope.
exchanged.
Mm-mm,
But
just
that's day
eyes.
one. That's
Just
day one.
eyes. Both Margo and Nicole.
Yes, with both these dudes who are friends.
Mm-hmm.
So now Margo and Nicole are poolside at Margo's house.
Looking at porn for some reason.
who in Margo's house has a Playboy? It's her and her mom alone.
I don't know.
She went and bought a Playboy
Sure.
to talk about how she wants to
do
be
it?
in Playboy.
I don't know.
She
Margo's
wants to be
weird.
admired by. And hey, I mean, if I had ever had a Playboy body,
Oh, yeah. I've never had a
I
Playboy
might have.
body.
I mean, just capture it while you got it, because
Well,
it ain't gonna stay.
That ain't gonna stay.
So I especially at that age, like not now at 44, do I want hundreds of thousands of dudes to jerk off to me, dork off to me? But
I don't want you jerking
when I
your
was
peanuts.
17 to 19, probably there
I
was probably
mean,
a part of my mind was like,
That would
all
be
right.
like a ego booster.
yeah, like, wow, whatever. If dudes wanna look at me,
Well, I mean, it's
but I
not
don't.
for me.
I was never Margo levels of
No, I didn't go down.
Godzilla.
Thank you. I didn't go down to the corner store and buy my own pornography.
I mean,
to
I
look
did
at
get
down
in
by the
trouble for bringing Playboy to school, but it was not a Playboy that I
No,
purchased.
and you weren't in like high school.
I was in the 4th grade.
Yeah, I thought that was a different
And
situation.
someone asked me to bring it.
I-
I said we had Playboys at our house, just out openly, and she said she'd never
Bring it.
seen a Playboy.
Right.
I want to see, so I brought it to school, and then I got in
It
trouble.
was a solid decision when you're in 4th grade.
And they called my mom and said, "Come down here and get this Playboy." And then she said, "Nah, keep it. We got plenty." We did too. They were in the bathroom. They were under the entertainment center, under the TV, just stacks and stacks of them. And I loved the comic strips.
Oh, I know. I did love the comic strips.
In the
I liked
4th
that.
grade, I wasn't. It was all titties. I wasn't
Yeah,
looking
I
at
mean,
all the titties. I had seen titties.
Yeah.
I'm like, but them
Whatever.
comic strips. They
Yeah,
were
the
dirty.
comic strips, they were fun.
The
and I liked
drawings
the
of
art.
dicks. You know?
Oh yeah, the drawings of dicks were always the best part because it was like a variety of dicks. And bushes, which there's a lot of bush in this movie too. But like Bush the band.
So Margot's mom's leaving for the weekend, giving her money, whatever, to stay home alone because she's gonna go meet her sugar daddy or whatever.
What have you, whatever she's doing. That's why Margo is this way.
Because her mom's that way.
It's generational.
And Nicole's dad comes to pick her up, and she's like, "Do I really have to go see James Taylor again?" He's like, "When did you ever see James Taylor?"
When
I was 6. And he's like, "What? How do you even remember that?"
And he talks about he's 40.
Did he say he was 40? Well, age-wise, I mean, he don't look 40, but he doesn't look 60.
Well, like, he doesn't look,
you know what I mean? He doesn't look bad.
He's a hard runner. He keeps in shape.
He does.
He's a hard runner.
And they have a little moment. She makes him laugh, and he's like, "Oh, my little sugar plum," and she's like, "Oh, my little nectarine," which must have been something when she was little.
I would imagine. I don't know.
Because that was it's not from anything that I know of.
They don't ever say it again. That was the last time you hear them say that shit. But now, once they get back to the house, there's a phone call, or like his buddy at work has been trying to get a hold of him, and now dad can't go.
Because her whole mood had changed, and she was like raring to go. She was helping stepmom make a fruit salad. They were packing up a picnic lunch. She was all attitude adjustment, and then dad gets this call for work, and she's like,
"Yep, just like real life, dad."
She slams her door, calls Margo like,
"I'm in
for the club."
Right. And like for a second, when they get to this club, I thought that Margo hadn't changed, and it was like really foolish of me to assume that she did not have a variety of halter tops. It was
she
dumb.
only owns
it was
halter
dumb
tops in
of
different
me
patterns.
to think that she didn't have more than at least 12 halter tops.
Of course.
That was dumb.
And hey, for 1996, we had girls kissing girls.
I was gonna say, like, oh my God, boys kiss here.
Girls who love girls,
who love boys, who love girls, who love
yes, that should have been the song that was playing. And she kind of, and you can tell Nicole's like, this is all new to her, but she loves it. She's got like this
like
smile,
it's kind of fun. Like this is wild.
She doesn't really want to engage, but she likes
I just
to
like
people
to look,
watch,
to look around and whatever. She like seems like she could probably handle it.
Yeah, I think she would have been fine just hanging out against the pole and kind of getting into some mixes of dancing with random people. But Margo spots her 35-year-old greaseball.
She sees Bam Margera over there like, ooh,
and goes to dry hump him on the dance floor.
I know.
And Nicole's like, yeah, you
go right ahead. You do that shit. And like,
here come David.
Like,
there to David be.
There to David be creeping around the corner like, hey.
Be creeping. Peeping.
Hey. Creeping. Sneaking. There to David be.
Yeah, and he comes around the pole. Oh, you're not dancing.
Right. Well, that's because nobody's asked me.
And she says nothing. You think she's going to ask him to dance when he says that. But
I know.
Nope, she says nothing.
Nothing. They like kind of flirt a little bit.
And then for some reason, Logan headbutts a guy for no reason whatsoever.
Because he's a fucking...
And the whole club descends into
a
fucking
whole
mania.
Fight breaks out.
And riot happens.
David and Logan grab Nicole and Margo, and there's like helicopters and shit.
Which within 1 minute of this fight starting, there's the choppa.
Get to the choppa. It's like a warehouse that they're probably aware of, and when shit pops off, they're like, "Ooh, there was a fight." They got a man on the inside with a wire.
And he takes her up on the roof, and they go down the fire escape. But then Margo and all these dudes come up, and she's like, "Margo," and she goes, "See you later." Where are you going?
I know, she's your fucking ride.
There's no other fire escape.
Maybe on the other side.
And why would you not just come with your friend down the fire escape she's going down?
I don't know.
That was a weird.
Margo.
And it was like a riot on the street. So how did they get home? They didn't show any of that. It was just they got down the fire escape.
Just managed to get home, I guess. I don't know. Like, what the fuck? This is going to be, I'm just going to have to drag Margo throughout this whole thing. It's like, this is like the first indication.
You
Bad
don't
friend.
leave her with an adult man.
Right?
Just because you're
to
ready to
leave
go
with an even older adult man.
Dude.
Gross, Margo. You were her ride. How is she going to get fucking home? You don't know this guy.
Yes.
You just left your...
And she could go die in this riot right now as
she
they go
could die
down
in a riot, Margo. She could die in a riot.
Die on the roof, Margo.
She could fall off the roof, Margo.
And I'm sorry to actual Margo, our friend.
Oh yeah, no,
we're
not talking
about you.
This was like when we did Eddie Snips and Kim.
And
we were dragging Kim and like Jimothy Boggs, and poor Kim's over here like, why?
Why are you yelling at me?
We weren't.
So yeah, David takes Nicole out for a drive in his car that explodes or whatever.
Right. She
his
says
Corvair
She says something about like, isn't this the kind of car that
blows up or something
He's
like that.
well, maybe that's why I got it. Because I just saw her all sad. Bitch, why? Nope. Take me home. I'm
done already.
Drive.
And at this point, when she gets into his car, as far as I'm aware, they have barely they haven't exchanged
I don't think
names.
they know what. Yeah, names. Like I don't believe we didn't see it at least.
She does call him David like right now in a second. So probably in the car, she was like, "What's your name?"
By the way.
And she just tells him her life story.
Right? She like trauma dumps on him like her whole fucking gig.
About the divorce and how long she's been living with her dad. And then she asked about his parents.
Oh, but they're like still together, but it's
They're
like kind of weird, you
and
know?
They never fight about anything. It's so strange.
Well, of course they're back east. He can't hide that fucking accent. Can't hide it.
And she thinks he's hiding something.
Of course he is.
And he's like, well, if something seems too good to be true, then it probably isn't. And you're beautiful and incredibly perceptive. I just need one flaw so I can believe the rest.
Right. And then she like kind of backs off a little bit because they start macking. She's like, that's my flaw. I'm a tease.
And he's like, no, I
That's not
respect
your
that.
flaw.
It's not a flaw. And so she gets home and stepmom waited up. She's worried. And she's like, oh, my watch broke. Because didn't he spin her watch backwards?
Yes. Because she tells him, my curfew is midnight. I got to go.
And he like spins it back an hour and a half like,
Right.
oh, you
She's
got
like,
extra
well,
time
my watch
now.
broke. And she like is totally giving her a line of bullshit. You could do that though because she had a watch. Like there was no cell phones. Like, Nicole, I know you have a cell phone.
Yeah, no.
There's
there
no
was none of
way
that.
that was the time was off.
Your watch was not synced up to the national clock or whatever.
Your Apple Watch was not onto Greenwich Mean.
And
time.
stepmom tells her to go wipe off her makeup. She looks like a slut.
Does she really though? Because it was
I'm
more
sorry,
the skirt.
I
that
was
her
going to say
panties
the
were hanging out
makeup
of.
was not an issue.
No.
The length of the skirt was an issue.
That was a short skirt.
Now go put
that-
on some pajamas. I don't want to see your butt. Is a
Right?
different
Like I can
statement,
see your
but-
whole ass hanging out of that skirt right now.
But no, her makeup was not slutty. She didn't have like crazy amounts of makeup on. She had like a normal amount of teenager makeup on.
No, but that's not the kind of thing that you want to say as a stepmom, I would imagine. I've never been a stepmom myself.
I've not. Yeah,
I never
don't know.
had a stepmom myself. But I imagine that's not the kind of thing you want to say to your teenage stepdaughter that's only lived there a year. She's
Right?
going
You
to
look like a
use that.
slut.
She's going to use that.
That's great.
And
Great
she
parenting.
do. And she do.
So dad gets home and grills her about coming in at 2 a.m. and not calling
Right.
and asking about this guy. Is he a good guy? And she's like, well,
Right.
he's good to his car.
You should appreciate that.
And I don't even know if I'm going to see him again.
Right, because he's like, well, should I meet him? And she's like, well, I don't even know if I'm going to see him again. Like, of course she is.
And he's like, all right, you got kitchen duty and yard work for the next 2 weeks.
Right, no
Putting it off
on Toby.
Yeah.
Tobias.
And you got to apologize to Laura. And she's like, I will if she does.
For when she called me a slut.
So Laura's like, he goes and tells Laura,
Right,
they're
she's
talking
like,
and she's like, you
"You're
should be
too
tougher on her. And he's like,
Well-
maybe you shouldn't call her a slut.
Maybe you shouldn't call my kid a slut. She's like, well, it was a...
Shitty choice of words.
I said she looked
like
like
a slut.
I didn't say she was a
Which
slut.
makes a very minor difference to a
I mean,
16-year-old.
that's what I'm saying. She immediately used it. That was her ace in the hole.
So when Nicole gets out of school the next day, David's waiting.
Oh my God. And she's making all the other girls so jaloux.
Oh, those fence sitter girls were like,
I know.
gooped. They're
oh
like,
my God. Look at this
"Oh."
old man that's picking her up right now. Is that her dad?
Oh, I'm trying to think if I ever had a boyfriend who picked me up, like who wasn't someone who went to my school and was, because I went out with older guys, but I don't think any of them ever like came and picked
No,
me
not
up
like
at
that. My
school.
friend's boyfriend did. My friend's boyfriend did. That's the one that would come in the CRX.
Oh yeah.
And I would have to sit up in the back against the fucking speaker, listening to Pony, so we knew where he was.
Wait, no, was he a senior? I'm trying to think. The one dude that I went out with,
He was
who,
out of high school. We were sophomores.
who was 19 and I was 15.
Yeah.
He was out of school and he would pick me up in his hatchback Honda Accord, bumping Alanis Morissette because this was 1995 and that album had just come out.
Wow.
Yeah, on his system.
And every time I scratch my nails out someone else's back. Well, I mean,
I'm sure we made out to
between-
Alanis Morissette more than once.
between that and Genuine, I mean, whatever. This guy was also a really big Tori Amos fan, which was weird.
Yeah, no,
So
this
we
guy
would
didn't
listen to that
Tori
really
Amos.
loud in
Alanis
the-
Morissette's all that stands out. I'm sure there were other ones, but that was the one. I just remember being like I enjoyed that album, but I remember being slightly embarrassed that my 19-year-old boyfriend pulled up to my school playing Alanis Morissette.
I mean,
I was like, because that's not for me. He
No,
loves
it's just-
Alanis
that's like his
Morissette.
deal.
I'm like,
That's
that's
his
not
deal.
like he went, oh, babe, I'm here for you. Here's your Alanis Morissette.
I mean, but I don't think anybody looked at us like anybody was jealous
No.
that her 18-year-old boyfriend was picking the sophomores up from high school in a CRX bumping Genuine.
Yeah, I don't remember anybody giving me those looks ever.
No, there was nothing like that. But they're
They're
gooped.
jealous.
Yeah.
And he takes her to play pool at the place where they
Right.
met.
Mhm.
And Margo's already there at hardcore macking with Logan.
They're like dry humping. They dry hump everywhere they go.
They do.
They're constantly like rubbing up against each other, these two.
And David and Nicole are kind of laughing about it. Like they
Right,
see him
like-
over there like, look at them.
Look at them go.
But then they're making out against the
Right.
brick wall outside. So
Of
it's fine
course.
if it's out in public.
But not
It's
inside
not okay in
an
the
establishment.
establishment.
People are trying to eat and shoot pool in here. They're trying to eat chocolate cake and turkey Gouda sandwiches in here. And
It's
poor
not
Gary, like
appropriate.
he's not even invited. He has to sit at home and seethe. Be sad.
Right? He doesn't even get to come. And he's telling her she tastes so good.
That's so gross. Every potty you taste so good. Every potty. Every
potty,
potty.
yeah.
Oh, everything he says is like, no.
It's not
no.
making me wet. It's making my
At
skin
all.
crawl.
Like it's making my fucking skin crawl, especially because I don't know how old he's supposed to be, but judging by her father's reaction when he
20s, I would
shows
say.
up,
Yeah.
he looks like he's at least 20. Or at least supposed to be
And
20.
he wants to meet her family. It's day 2, bruh. You
And
learned her name
that-
last night.
I'm sorry. That, I'd be like, why?
Why do you want to meet my
Why
family?
you want to meet my family?
The first time my boyfriend probably met my family is if I wanted him to come to some sort of a family event. Like
Right.
if there was some sort of party where like family members are going
Right.
to be there. So, oh, you're going to meet my family. But it was never a thing where you went, oh, it's time for you to meet my family.
Right,
It was like you
like
either
it's
met them or you
time.
didn't. It either
Well, like,
happened
at that
naturally.
time, if you're getting picked up, you're going to have to come in here.
And you know you're picking up an underage girl.
right?
Why you want to meet her family? You're clearly an adult man.
I know. You
With a
know
fucking
exactly what
record.
her dad is going to fucking do.
Doesn't he have like his mug shot on his wall in his
He
little
does.
bunk later?
He does. Well, his father, her father finds out later because he does before Google because he's got like friends
Yeah.
that could look up his shit that he finds out that there's all this stuff. But yeah, he had his own mugshot on his own wall, which was weird.
Yes.
I
that
guess
is
you
very
know
weird.
what?
He's
I
proud of it.
probably if
I
I
guess
had
a mugshot, I'd frame
probably
it.
would. I
If
would.
it was just the one, if you weren't like
Oh,
a
yeah.
career criminal,
No,
it was
like,
like,
and if
no,
it
I
was-
only got arrested once, and
if
it was
it was
a crazy
for
story.
something like how Frank Sinatra got like arrested for seduction, like if that was the thing on my little board.
I don't think I ever heard that. Who did he seduce?
Well, because it was a married couple situation.
oh, and the husband was not happy with
right.
it.
So like you could get charged with seduction from like luring a wife away from somebody who was married. I think I
Interesting.
could be making this whole thing up, but I think
You know, we do that sometimes, y'all.
you know I'm pretty sure that was the story behind it. I dated a guy that had the poster that had the thing on there and it said seduction.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe he was trying to seduce me with his Frank Sinatra
He's all,
poster. I
"Hey,
don't know.
you like
We had
Frank
to fuck
Sinatra?"
underneath the fucking Frank Sinatra poster. It was
Because that's
weird.
just where it was.
That's just where it was, under the watchful eye, watchful old blue eyes. I don't think I like that. Well,
So she, of course, does take him home to meet the family or invites him over the next day or whatever.
Right. And her dad is like, he turns around to meet this kid and is like,
Oh, this dude could kick my ass.
right?
Oh, shit.
Seriously.
Oh, shit.
You know, that crossed his mind. Like, oh, fuck.
Well, and the wife likes him, the dog likes him,
He,
the
like-
kid likes him, the daughter
Because
likes
he
him,
is
and he's
saying
like,
all
fucking great.
the right things.
Oh, yeah.
Because her dad probably realizes in all this song and dance, all this yes, sir, and nice to meet you, sir, and you must be Kaiser, and you must be Toby, and you must be whatever the fucking stepmom's
Laura
name,
or
Laura.
something.
You must be Laura. Like, all this shit. This is
because Laura starts to be bitchy, and then he's like, "Oh, I'll help you work in the yard.
I used
worked
to
in
work in
the
the
nursery.
yard."
Yeah, I worked summers in the nursery.
Like all of a sudden he's got all these answers and he's
And
like
the
the
dad's
perfect
just
fucking
gooped,
guy.
like,
Like,
really? This dude she met yesterday, 2 days ago,
Seriously.
3 days ago. So then
Something's not right here. Something's
Dad's
not
in
right
there
here.
working on his computer when Dave rolls up. Like, this is the only bathroom in the house.
Right?
Is in Dad's office.
Is the only one downstairs, perhaps?
Maybe. And this, so Margo comes in looking for him. So, and now David's not doing anything. He's washing his hands. He's got the door open. He's not doing nothing shady at this point.
No,
But
he's
Margo
not.
comes in looking for David, and she is just openly trying to seduce her best friend's
Like,
dad.
why? Because she needs the attention. Like, I didn't understand that. Is she already like
I don't
working
know.
with this?
That's just all she knows how to interact with men.
I
is-
guess I don't know. But like, David yells out at Nicole, like, "Hey, go get me a Coke."
Which, and also, again, red flag. Not even please. Like, hey,
Right?
please, can you bring me a Coke?
And she's like,
Thank
"Okay."
you. And she just does.
And like, why would you? Like, is he already trying to have like a dick measuring contest with, her
Dad.
dad?
Because Dad notices it for sure.
Yeah, for sure he does. Because he's
He
already
clocks
onto
it.
his shit.
Oh, yeah.
He's already onto his shit. And
she-
that was just like,
And David sees Margo trying to seduce Dad. Like, she does it openly, like, right in front of him.
right.
Sticking her butt cheek
Margo's
out
a
at him and
hoe.
everything. She a hoe.
She's a bad friend and she's a hoe. She
And
doesn't deserve what happens to
No,
her.
but she's still a hoe.
She's still a hoe.
And so Dad's telling him, look, her curfew's midnight, not 5 minutes after, 15 minutes
Right,
after.
right,
And he's
right,
like,
like-
okay. And as he walks out of the room,
He
turns that
does
clock.
that clock
and that's
back.
the only clock in the house.
Well, because Dad's working, so that's the only
I'm
one
telling
he's
you, I
looking at.
I didn't
He's got
look.
a computer.
I was going to say he's working on a computer. That computer has a clock. And I bet you he was wearing a watch. I didn't even look.
He did. Well, no, he wasn't wearing it, but it was there.
But he had a
it on
watch
his
nearby.
desk, but he wasn't looking at it because he was working hard. He works like he runs
Hard. And Laura she notices the trash hasn't been taken out. She calls for
comes
Nicole,
out
but she
like-
already gone.
She's already left. She's like, you let her leave?
Dad can already see them, and you notice they have all these security cameras.
Oh,
that
yes.
Dad's
He's watching all
shit
the
on
shit.
The
He's
security
like
camera.
pushing her booty up in the into the core.
And they're in Margo's car. She's driving, so they're making out in the back seat on their way to the carnival.
And is Logan with them?
I
Logan's
didn't
with
look like
them,
it in
right?
the car. I didn't
They
see
maybe
Logan in
picked
the car.
him up
Or he
afterwards.
met them there or something.
Maybe because
I think they
like,
met him there.
So she was just driving Miss Daisy while them two was making out in the back.
Probably because Logan had his boys there too. Like, you didn't see him, but I bet you they were there hooliganing.
You never
up.
see them, but they around.
Hooliganing up.
Yep, as they do.
So, in line for the roller coaster, he grabbing
man.
that booty.
Yep.
He be sticking the fingers down the fucking waistline of her skirt, doing all them
Doing all
moves.
the things, all the touching. He's got Roman hands and Russian fingers.
And they get on this roller coaster and
Horses. Oh, cannot hear this song.
Drag me away. And they will not drag those fingers away from
Nope.
that pussy.
Nope. Them
But that's
fingers-
her idea.
I mean,
He's
she's
grabbing her
like-
thigh and she
she
pushes that
it right
hand up there.
there.
Day 4. 4 or 5. Less than a week
I
they've
don't
known each
know.
other.
I don't know what the exact timeline
Maybe.
of this situation is.
And he been touching carnival things.
Oh my God, they were doing carnival games. Carnival games. There's no hand sanitizer.
And like the railing, walking in line and
Oh,
stuff.
she's gonna get
There's
an
like
infection.
little paint chips and fucking lead and
her
who knows
pH
what.
is off. Well, that and she's sitting directly on panties out. You know that skirt doesn't cover enough of that butt.
Oh no.
I mean, I know she's narrow.
And you said this scene was not originally
it
in
was
the
not
script when
apparently
she
it was
signed
not
on for
original.
this.
No, it was not originally in the script. It was they probably made out or something. Maybe he honked a hooter. I don't know. But it wasn't this explicit, or they just alluded to the fact that he was fingering her. So they made it, he's fingering her on this thing, and she didn't want to do it, but they were like, you got to do it. And she wanted a body double, and they said no.
No
so this
stunt
is
cunt for you.
Nope. So Reese Witherspoon is getting.
She's definitely. He's not finger
Finger.
blasting her, but he's definitely. What did I
You know,
say
he's
earlier?
like-
He's. What did
Oh,
I say?
fuck.
God damn! This is why we shouldn't talk about
Oh,
it before we're
man.
recording. I said he. Oh.
I don't remember.
Fuck.
It was so good.
Oh,
I can't
damn
remember.
it!
I
That
can't
he-
remember.
But that he was touching flap.
He
that
was
he was
touching
great.
flap. Yeah, he was like
he
brushing
was not
flap.
inserting, but he
No,
was for
but
sure.
he was like at least a knuckle dragged across
for sure
the outside of her panties, I'm sure.
at least.
But like really,
If I were her, I'm wearing 5 pairs of panties though. I got like a cup on.
I want to, what is it? Like one of those camel toe.
Yes,
cup,
the little
but
little
like
shield.
with a camel toe. Like you could just pretend you're fingering the outside of my camel toe cup that you can't. I can't feel nothing.
And we decided that that it must be something to do with the adrenaline of being on this roller coaster, because she
I've never been
enjoyed
fingered on a roller coaster.
this dry fingering more than any 16-year-old has enjoyed a fingering ever.
It leads to seat wetting. Probably like the guy. He's like, you guys.
People, I can see you.
People, well, like I
So
said,
it was the
you can go there.
combination of like the
How many people do you think this
people
is
can
responsible?
see it. We're going down a roller coaster.
This is responsible probably for ruining roller coaster seats across the world, at least across the country.
I mean, maybe not ruining. It depends on your pH.
Well, I mean, not ruining, but if you get like pussy juice on the fucking roller coaster seat,
Oh, I'm sure every roller coaster seat you ever sat on
Well,
had
probably
pussy
that
juice on
too. A
it,
little
and
bit of
other
jizz,
things.
a little bit of jizz.
a little bit of vomit.
yeah, I'm
There's
sure.
probably all kinds of manner of things.
Well, that makes it even worse that you're getting fingered on it. You're gonna get butt shrooms.
Oh, butt shrooms for show. For show. So they get off, or she gets off.
yeah,
and they
she
get
sure
off.
do. She sure do, and they do too.
And Dad realizes he's talking on the phone with work, like, "Oh, let me
Right,
get
like-
this last FedEx pickup," and they're like, "It's closed." And he's like,
He's
"What?
like,
It's
what are you
only
talking about? I got like another
this
half an
time."
hour, and it's like, oh fuck.
Back at the carnival, David's winning Nicole a prize,
But
and
like she looks over, and while Logan is like fucking Margo up
he's
against,
like licking her heart from the inside. His tongue is so far down
I know,
her throat.
like I don't know what is going on there, but he like menaces Nicole.
What is that? Because
Why?
it does not come up again really later, except for I guess when
Once
they break
they're
in the house. But
he,
that's
like,
David's
menaces
idea.
her again. Like I don't.
So
understand.
what was? Yeah, I didn't understand.
Well,
the
that's
pointing.
what happens to him is because he couldn't.
And
stop
that Margo
himself.
doesn't notice that mid
No,
tongue
she's-
down your throat, he stopped to menace your best
She's
friend.
too busy getting like she's like they're probably doing anal. I don't even know what
I
the.
have no idea what's happening here.
He's gone like full penetration. Something is happening there.
Oh, for sure.
So she don't know. She don't know what's going on there. He's so gross. He's so gross.
And before we get into what happens next, it's a good time for a break.
Oh yeah.
Be right back. Hey guys, we got another new friend for you.
Our friend Cherish makes these amazing handmade pop sockets for your phone that are super detailed little works of art and feature icons from some of your favorite childhood films like Neverending Story, Labyrinth, Ghostbusters, and more.
I bought the sandworm from Beetlejuice for my phone, and it is super adorable. It even has like real sand around the base of it, like it's coming out of the
I know,
sand.
I've seen it. It's super cute. But you can watch her make them on her TikTok channel or get your own over at cherishheathart.com and use our code DOOM10 for 10% off on us.
That's cherishheathart.com.
Later, Doomers.
And we're back.
We're back, and Dad goes over to Laura talking about he's got to go to Vancouver. He fucked up.
And I want you to come with me on a trip.
I know we could go and stay in that same hotel and wink, wink, maybe that same little suite. Like they give me like a fare.
Like
give
that
me
they're
like
having one? Or?
no. Like that's where they came from. Like that's
that-
where like their relationship. Like they just give me a fairish vibes.
Maybe.
Maybe just in this scene. Just because I don't like Steve.
Right.
I don't like him. I don't like him.
And they leave the kids home alone. No one's allowed in the house.
Right. Just you and Toby. That's it. Not even Margo.
And of course, as soon as Toby's in bed, she calls David.
She like goes right upstairs as soon as they drive out of the fucking gate. She's like, I'm all alone in my room.
Out hooliganing it up with
Right?
his pals with
What
a dog.
He's got a dog. Where'd that dog come from?
I don't know, man.
Because I was like, what is he fucking doing? Is he playing with his nipples? Is he playing with his
idea.
nipple, the little one? Just the
don't
baby one
know.
down there? But no, it's a dog.
And he's like, my parents are out of town. I'm
I'm
home
all alone in my room. Just like,
And he's like,
oh, I'll come by afterwards.
yeah, I promised my friends I'd help them, but there's something, but I can come by afterward. And she's like, well, if it gets too late, I'll be in bed, but here's the gate code.
Just punch in
Or with the
1432
door
into
code.
the keypad, and I'll be there like waiting for you. Like, okay, Miss Rape Fantasy.
Who goes to sleep in her bra and panties
I
only
know.
after saying this. So
And
she
she-
was
Okay.
waiting for something. And
I don't think she was waiting for that. I didn't think
I
she
don't
thought
know.
that was going to happen.
I don't know. And he comes in, he unveils her under her covers that she's there in her panties.
Right. He shows up.
He's
and
looking
he's,
at all of her shit.
fondling family photos and like going through all of his stuff, so you know he's a bad guy. And like he takes that daddy's girl bracelet.
Yeah. And then he's standing there naked when she wakes up. And she looks frightened. Like,
I know, like what the fuck? Like she didn't just go
clocking balls
so
right
hard.
in my face.
So clocking balls. Like she didn't go hard in that fucking. I'm all alone in my room. My parents
you don't
are out
say
of
those
town.
types of things
No,
to
you
boys.
don't. And then give them the code.
Mm-mm.
Come on,
Or
that's a
you
grown
especially
man that
don't
is
say those
showing up.
types of things to a grown man.
He's coming over to your house after whatever hooligan things that he's out there doing. You gave him
and
the
probably
code.
smoking crack. We find out later,
Or
and all
meth
kinds
or
of whatever
the fuck
that was.
is. I don't know what's going.
I don't know.
We'll talk about that in a minute because we're getting there.
So yeah, he's kissing her all over. Takes off her bra. Takes off her panties. And she looks all surprised, and I'm like, "Well, what are you inviting him over for? Scrabble? Like you
I
were
know.
like,
What did you think
my
was gonna
parents are
happen?"
gone. What else are you inviting?"
You were inviting sex.
And he tells her he loves her.
Oh, but like, I love you and penetration.
And we're on less than a week,
I don't know, but he's doing these like
and it
really
seems like
big,
she's losing
fat
her.
kisses. He's like dragging that bottom lip all the way up her face. Like, it's
And
a
just
lot.
based
of
on her
lip.
face on penetration, I presume this is her losing her virginity.
That's what I thought. Because I was like, okay, like maybe they fucked before, but no.
She
when
looks
she
like
makes
this
that
is
face,
time one. Yeah.
which
He didn't even get her ready. He just woke
No,
her up
he
and
just-
plunged it in.
Just straight up.
I had a dude do that, and I
I
was like,
mean-
bro, he literally grabbed the windowsill behind my head and just pushed
ow,
or pulled, I guess.
ow,
Yeah.
ow. You
And I
can't
was like,
just
what
go
do you?
in
I had to
dry.
be like, no.
at least
No,
spit
no.
on it.
It's not gonna work like that. Please stop.
Ow, ow. It's like pulling a tampon out dry.
Yes.
Ow.
Yeah. Not a
Ow.
good feeling.
Size down.
Yes. Okay, Amy Schumer. No, I would
Oh,
never.
no.
I'm not.
Oh.
No. I would
You
never
almost
call you
witnessed
Amy
a
Schumer.
fight, y'all. How dare
That's
you?
the biggest insult.
It really is because I hate her.
She's not funny.
She's not good.
I'm sorry. She might have been good in one thing that I didn't see, but I didn't see it.
I don't know what it is.
So-
Like I wanted to like her more. That she's like
I
one of those
did.
people where like I wish I could like you, but I don't, and like everything you do is fucking terrible, and I
Yes.
just can't. No wonder she does fucking tampon commercials because she's a fucking tampon. Amy Schumer is a fucking
It's a
tampon.
She dries out my vagina.
Indeed.
Indeed. Her and
I
Marky
wouldn't even.
Mark
I don't
both.
even like to associate her with my vagina, except for she's a tampon.
Yes. So the next day at school, Nicole is walking with Gary, her buddy.
And he's like, she tells him about what happened.
And he's like, are we talking the L word here?
She's like, don't tell Margo.
I never felt like this before. I don't know if it's the L word.
I don't know, but it's something.
And they're giving each other a hug at the end of the day when fucking David rolls up and
Oh,
all
yes.
he sees is the back of some dude's head and he's hugging his girlfriend.
And he jumps out and like
punches
beats
him in the back of the
shit
head
out of him.
and is just kicking the fucking shit out of this kid.
In front
and
of
she's screaming, stop, what are
and
you
then he
doing?
like pushes her.
He like
like
elbows her or something and pushes her off. And she's crying and she's like, get the fuck out of here. And he's all, what?
What did I do?
What did I do? What did I
What
did I do?
to deserve this?
So cut to her later in the shower. She got a black eye.
Oh yeah, she's like, oh fuck.
And Laura comes to the door and she sees the black eye and she's like, oh, I got it in gym.
Right, we were playing volleyball and I got an elbow to the eye. Like she lies.
And
real
Laura
easy.
helps her cover it up with makeup.
Right, she's like, let's see what we could do about it.
And then Dad doesn't see it, but she ends up telling him.
Right,
Laura's
she's
like,
like,
oh,
you
she
know,
has a
but-
black eye from gym class.
Laura.
I gave her a makeup lesson so she won't look like a slut. Laura,
Come on, Laura.
shut up.
Yeah, really. Like, you know better, Laura. I feel like you should know better, Laura.
And like, how is Gary at school the next day and not in the hospital
I know.
with like 3 broken
Gary
ribs
is fragile.
and a head injury?
Gary's fragile.
But he's just there. You talked to Travis
I know.
Bickle yet?
No.
I don't think I ever want to see
He
him
is
again.
like one reference after another. Like, I don't know if it's, I think it's later on. Yes, it's later on, and I'll bring it up then. But he's one reference after another.
Yeah.
Gary only serves our son. Gary.
Gary?
Our boy. He only serves to like be the milquetoast best friend that doesn't get to go party.
Right? He
with
never
them.
gets to go to anything
And
with
he
them.
just has references for you.
Yes.
That's it. That's all Gary do.
And David's there in the fucking hallway watching her talk to Gary.
Is there no security?
And no one called the police while this assault was
Right?
happening?
No,
Gary
like, there
didn't
was
call
no-
the cops when he got home?
There was
or
no follow-up. There's a strange grown-ass man walking
beating up
through the
teenagers
halls.
and walking through the high school hallway.
And no, there is no security.
No.
Because he comes up, like, I don't know. He's, like, following her.
I know.
She's, like, done.
He leaves a letter in her locker that she
Yes.
finds of him apologizing and wanting to meet at Largo, which Largo's is a place in LA that's like a comedy club, but I guess there's a lot of places
but it's
named
also
Largo.
the coffee place that they
Yeah.
went to. Apparently, that's the Largo.
And she doesn't come.
No,
you
she
see
doesn't
him
show
waiting
up.
and she
He's
doesn't show.
Getting all fucking jaw muscle upset.
So then to the shared house that's like Logan's dad's house.
It's at the
that's
trap house.
completely yes. It's
The
just
boys
demolished with graffiti.
So, like, these boys come to see a man about a dog.
But,
and
like,
this guy
literally?
has, like, James Duval, Rory Cochrane eye. But, like, it's not either of those
Right.
people. And, like, he shows up and he's like, woof, woof, woof. They want to see a guy about a dog. And, like, then they go, okay, so that means we have to leave soon. What are
Right?
they doing?
I don't understand.
Where are they going? What is it that they are doing? Is it drugs?
I don't know.
Then why do they have to go?
And what is the dog part? Because there was
I mean, I
literally
guess
a
a
dog.
secret
So I thought
code.
maybe they came to buy the dog.
they're
They
dog
stole
breeders?
a dog or something, like a purebred dog.
I don't know
I
what
have
is
no idea what's
what they're
happening.
doing. And like, and that's the other thing, because they talk about, they go up there, they tell David they gotta go, and his like
I'm not
weird
going.
mental illness room
Yes, with his mugshot
with
on
his
the wall.
mugshot on the wall, and he's like, yeah, when Logan's dad comes back,
We're all gonna be out on our asses.
where is Logan's dad, and what is happening?
He's
here?
been gone for a long time
Is
by
he
the
in
looks
prison?
of that house.
Yeah.
Is
Is
a
he in
Pippi
prison?
Longstocking situation? Is he
Right?
a pirate?
Is he a
He's
pirate
out on the seven
seas? Jinx.
So Nicole receives roses delivered to her at home, and she throws them directly in the outside bin without
Right.
even looking at
And
them.
Laura notices because she brings it, like, she's all excited for her, like, oh, look at what she got. And she throws it out and she's like, oh.
and she
Like, I
almost
would've
tells her something, but
immediately. Because, I mean, she does later, but
Yeah.
immediately, like, he fucking hit her.
Yeah.
This is
when she threw those roses in the
this
bin
is
for
done
sure.
now. I don't care. I mean, like, I guess I'd have to tell her dad.
Yeah.
But no, this is done now. I get it.
Yeah.
I get what's happening. I'm going to call you out like he hit
Mm-hmm.
you. And that's why you're doing this. Because there's no way after getting finger banged on a fucking roller coaster that you're not throwing away flowers
Right.
from your hooligan older boyfriend.
But she can't hold it in for long because that night they can hear her crying, and Laura goes to check on her and asks about what happened.
She's like, let me go.
yeah, she
"Let
wants to
me
be the
go."
one to ask.
You know, let me go talk to her. Let me go do the stepmom thing. You know, whatever. And like, she's up there talking. So dad finally comes in.
And here's the tail end of the story.
Of what's happening, and like he's like, did he hit you? Did he give you that black eye?
I told you what happened
I
to
told
my
you.
eye.
And like
Just
Laura's like,
fucking
shut
fess up.
the fuck up. But Laura's like trying. She's like,
Mm-hmm.
you can't just go straight at it, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
So she's like, you know, you got to get a little gentle with it. But dad sees,
He goes to toss her the Kleenex box,
and he sees the condom wrapper on the floor.
which at
He's
least
like,
they used a fucking condom, which
Bless 'em.
surprises the shit out of me.
seriously, like that is shocking news.
For sure.
That is shocking news. It was the 90s. You had to. AIDS was everywhere.
So yeah, he's like, don't screw up your life just because you're disappointed in me. And she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. It doesn't have anything to do with you.
Right. Like, I don't know how to tell you this, Dad, but everything I do doesn't have to do with you.
And he's like, look, all right, I'm putting my foot down.
Oh, no. Well, while he's
This is
putting his
gonna
foot
stop.
down, he's immediately pushing her right back over there.
Yes.
Because he doesn't say, like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? A ramen packet? No.
Right. Just
This
call
is
it
rib
out.
for her pleasure. Like, what the fuck is this?
So I've been eating ramen seasoning
Thank you
in
for
bed.
using a fucking condom. But
yeah,
what the
this
fuck
is
in my
not
house?
okay.
You're not supposed to have this in the fucking house. I told you no one's supposed to be in here.
And he's like, David's not a good guy. And she, of course, well, we just had a disagreement. And maybe we'll get past it. Maybe he almost killed your friend
I know.
for no reason except he
I
hugged
know.
you.
I know.
I
but
wrote, spank her ass. Put her over your fucking knee and be like, nah.
Hey, dummy. Well, like that would have been the moment to say, what the fuck is this condom
Right.
then?
And so he doesn't say a word. He takes it back to the room. He shows Laura because Laura's like, what the fuck is that
like,
about?
what-
And he's
what-
like, and he shows her
She's
the
like,
wrapper.
oh boy.
He's like, I know he hit her too.
Right. And she's like, well,
You can't
You're
bully
gonna-
her into growing up.
you're going to send her right back over there. Like Laura totally knows it. So,
Which is exactly what happens because she goes in the trash looking for the
right.
card from
She
the
goes
roses,
immediately down there and gets the note.
which
that
is
came-
just pictures of them from
right.
the little
It's just
picture booth.
from the carnival
Yes.
where he fingered her. Remember this? Remember this time? You loved it.
And then best friend Margo tells her it was just his asshole way of showing he loves her.
Margo, honey. Margo, my
And-
love, beloved.
If hitting you was an accident, then what's the problem then?
Right. She was like, sometimes it's just their asshole way of doing. Like, she goes, okay, so he didn't hit you. So what's the problem? So at this point, does Margo not know that there's like a weird? Because she's been hanging out with Logan.
I think
would
she's already
assume-
doing drugs with them, so she's probably
Oh,
fucking
maybe.
high. 'cause
I didn't
she's-
even consider
Yeah,
that she was like on meth or whatever the
Yeah, I
fuck
think
it
she's
was
probably
that they
already
were smoking,
high
because
and
that's
shit.
not weed. That's not weed.
no.
We don't do that to
No.
you. We don't do that to you.
So Margo tells her dad knows she's sleeping with David, and then
She goes, gotcha, you hoe. You didn't tell me you was screwing him.
and then David and Logan and the rest of the gangs come raid her fucking mom's house.
Right. And she's like, oh, fuck. And like, she just goes to leave. She's like, I'm getting my
Right.
shit to get. And here comes David all sad with his hands in his
talk to you?
pockets.
I just want to
wanna
explain.
talk to you. Like, you have every right, but just let me explain to you.
I just thought I was protecting you, and I didn't even realize it was Gary. I just saw some guy with his paws all over you.
All over yous.
I'm sorry. I love you.
I love. I can't be sorry that I love you like this bullshit.
And you can see in her face she's falling. Fucking hook,
course,
line,
like,
and sinker for this
but
line.
with you, it's different. It'll never happen again.
Ugh.
So of course now skip to what, next day?
And Dad comes home from work to find David out there at the pool with Nicole and Laura and Toby.
This very happy scene with his family, and David's like,
picking up Laura and throwing her into the
"Oh,
pool.
Daddy
Ugh.
David, like what was?"
And she's
what's
just
he
like,
do-
it ain't no thing.
I
Like,
know. He's like, what's he doing here, Laura?
Would you rather she lied and snuck off to see him?
No,
No, I'd
but
rather
what,
she
like-
didn't see him the fuck at all.
Right, at all. But like, since he's in the house, what are you doing
Right? All
out
up
there
in the
playing
mix.
with
You
fucking?
made the rule, she tells him. What, the rule was he can only come over here? No, that was not
no,
the
that was
rule.
not part of the rules. It was if I don't like it, you're not going. Which I don't like it. He's not coming.
And David's kissing her, just looking Dad
Oh,
point
like
blank
right
in
in
the
the fucking,
eyes
just
as
like
he
Logan was doing.
rams
He's
his
like
tongue
almost like
down
he
her
should have
throat.
pointed, like he's all
Yep.
grabbing a gooch,
Yep.
sinking a didge.
So the next day at work, Dad calls Laura like, look, I looked up David's history.
He did a little background check, and he was in foster care until he was 18. Nobody knows.
He has no family, no address, no work record.
And Laura's like, so he's embarrassed
he's
about
an
being an orphan.
He made up a story to impress a girl. So what?
Which,
That girl is my daughter, and he gives me the creeps.
yes, Laura,
Like,
and
yeah, this is not a
Laura.
TV show.
he gave her a black eye.
Yes.
He gave her a black eye. It was funny. One time, the same like older 18-year-old boyfriend that my friend had when we were in high school, like literally, like everybody, like they were rolling around on the floor, and like he elbowed or kneed her on accident. It was like a full on, like I witnessed this. It was a full on fucking accident, and she had like a shiner, and like she came over to my house, and my dad asked her like, "How did you get the shiner?" And
Yeah.
she said the boyfriend did it, and like my dad was almost out the door, like he was gonna go
Right?
get him,
Yeah.
and we're like, no, like
On
it was
accident,
like
on
it was
accident.
literally like an accident, literally an accident. Like I don't know what my dad would have done. I can't even imagine.
Right.
But like he jumped right the fuck up. We're like, no.
I decided the only reason that the dad can see the red flags and he's the only one is he's always got them shades on. Those shades pick up the
Right?
red flags.
It's like a polarizing lens that only picks up red flags. Well, everybody else, I don't know what.
Nobody
He's
else
gotta
cares.
have like the magic dick or
Right?
something.
I don't know.
Because he's not
He's
that
not
cute.
that cute.
He's not that cute.
And his car
like,
ain't that cute. And
everything
like,
he
don't
says
got no
is
job.
fucking creepy.
Yeah.
Right? What does he do all day?
Crimes.
Well, yeah, we know that, but she don't know that. Like,
right?
she
She didn't even ask.
like, she's a teenager, she's young and all, but like, I feel like
She's not stupid.
no, she's not stupid. She's got a stupid friend.
Yes.
Margot's a bad friend.
Yes.
Margot's a bad friend.
And Dad's waiting outside the school and sees that David is already there to pick her up. And he
Right.
like pulls up like, hey, I need to talk to you.
Bad move, Dad. I mean, again, what are you going to do?
Stay in front of the school, number one. Why'd you go where no one can see this take place? Because now nobody saw him beat himself up.
And you already know that if he wanted to, Will Peterson, Marky Mark is like a ball of rage. He is made up of entirely rage.
Yes.
And he would just kill you. He'd blind you or
Right?
deafen you. What did he do? He blinded or
Oh, I
deafened.
can't remember.
It was something
There was
like he took
something.
a sense away from another human being.
Which is not good.
No, it's not. Like, he's
not good.
apologized for it. And he's like,
But
you know.
still.
I mean, and he was young.
Yeah. So they
We've
get
all
out
done
of the
things.
car down the street, and Dad tries to read him the riot act, like,
Oh,
you're not going to see
he
my
says,
daughter.
"Let me tell you something, pal." Which you know that means fucking business. When an older white dude, a middle-aged white dude tells you, "Let me tell you something, pal." Oh, he
He's going to
means business.
stop seeing Nicole.
Yep.
And he's like, Steve, you're really not a F slur.
I know.
You seem like a good guy. You should lighten up on yourself.
Right.
This is about your inadequacies and fears. And the dad's like, whoa,
Whoa,
hey
what
now.
the fuck? He did not expect it to take this kind of turn.
No.
This is an adult you're talking
Because
to.
David is hip to all his problems.
Oh,
he knows
yep.
all his business, and his wife told him shit.
Mm-hmm.
Relax, we're friends, practically family.
Right? Like, you know what? I even know you coming up short in the bedroom department.
Dad threatens to rip his balls off and shove them so far up his ass they come out his fucking mouth.
Right?
You got that, my friend? And he squeals out, and oh my god,
Oh man, he comes with that. And what is that?
he's trying
What
to
is
bruise
that?
his chest
His
because I guess
titty?
the dad like pushed him a little or something.
Well, he like pokes him in the
Or,
chest,
yeah.
so like I guess.
but like this rhythmic, menacing, like ape punch. I said
he was in
something-
Planet of the Apes.
I was talking to Harry about it, and he likes this movie, and he goes, "Oh, that scene." He goes, "When my mom tells me I can't eat cake for breakfast, I
like
stand in the kitchen and do that."
She hit me. She hit me.
Hit me. So Dad goes to like a lawyer friend, and the lawyer's
Right.
like, "You don't have enough to do
Right,
anything
like there's
about anything
nothing
yet."
we could do about this shit. And he's like,
She's willingly going with him.
right.
like-
He's like, but she's like a fucking minor.
he's like, "Well, I'll make some calls for you."
Yeah, like I'll see what I can do, but you know, whatever. So later on, Nicole storms into his office calling him a hypocrite.
all pissed off.
Right. And like,
Oh,
she's-
I saw the bruises, and
and he's like, what the fuck are you
bruises?"
talking about? The bruises. He's like, well, maybe I like
You
fingered
didn't hit
him a
him
little
so hard
bit.
in the chest. He's all sore and bruised.
Come on.
And she's like, "You lost my respect."
Oh, and then she takes off with
Gets
dear
right
old
in
Davy.
Dad's flipping out.
And he's like looking right at Dad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, look me in the eye. Don't look me in the eye. Look me in the eye.
And here's the Bush playing on the radio in the car.
Yes. Like, that's what I wrote here. I was all, some more Bush. This movie is all about Bush. It's all Bush.
All Bush.
All Bush.
And that's when Dad calls the police to report her kidnapped, and they're like, "She's not. She went
Nope,
willingly
she went
with this
willingly.
dude. She's
Like
not
the cops,
kidnapped
they will not help. So they go parking.
for some sex."
And it's just us.
Tell
and
me
it's
you
like
want me.
Wild Horses is on, so you already know.
Couldn't
drag me away.
And he drops her off at home later.
I know. He just takes her back home.
He wanted her to
is
come
this
home
by
with him.
curfew?
Right?
Is this by curfew? Do they finally show up by midnight at curfew? He drops her off like no big deal.
But then she turns around and leaves. She looks up at her house after he drives off and tries to run back out and misses him. So
But
she
he already
takes
leaves.
Dad's car or whatever, or somebody's car.
And she goes back up to this house and there's like a party.
And she's like, "What?" And
Yeah,
she sees
she, like,
Margo in there
Goes around the side and she sees like Margo
smoking some meth while
dry
she fucks Logan.
Well,
or
no,
I don't
he
know what's
was
happening.
Smoking the meth. I didn't
Oh yeah,
see
I
Margo
guess she
hit
was,
it,
but
she
I
was
just
within the
presumed she
vicinity.
was also.
Well,
yeah.
she's like grinding on his crotch.
just in panties.
Right, and like Nicole's like,
She's watching it like, "Oh, what's happening?"
Wow,
then
what's
here comes
happening here?
David up behind Margo.
and he's like, tell him you want me.
yeah.
And he's like, fuck off. He's like,
And
she's
he's like
mine.
grabbing her by the hair.
He
and shit.
grabs her by the back of the head and he's like, tell him.
And she's like almost in tears. I
I want him. And he like picks her up off of,
Slings
and
her
she's
over his
got her
shoulder like a
underwear
sack
kind
of
of to the side.
potatoes.
Like she almost lost a lip. in that moment. She almost had a pussy faux pas.
And she slaps her ass and carries her away.
Right?
And Logan's like, keep that dirty little bitch. I don't want her.
So Nicole freaks out and does this amazing back out.
I wrote,
this, like,
she executed this reverse
Yes!
backup perfectly for a teenage
for being
girl
in,
upset.
Yes.
Yes.
That was lucky. I mean, that was probably a
smooth. That was smooth.
strut driver.
Strunt driver.
Strunt?
Hell yeah.
Give
She
him
don't
a
get a
strunt.
stunt cunt, but maybe
No,
she gets a stunt
strut
driver.
But yeah, like I definitely made a note about that. That fucking.
So she gets home and her dad's asleep in the chair with the phone waiting for her to call, and she just kind of smiles and goes to bed.
She goes to bed, but she leaves him a little note. Sorry if I caused you any worry. It's over.
Yeah, he wakes up and sees that note. She's safe in her bed, but she doesn't want to talk about it.
No.
She just wants to be alone.
Yes.
So he respects that and leaves and tells
Yep.
her the pain will go away.
Right.
So the next day at school, she looks worried.
Right. She's sitting there having lunch with Gary.
And he's like making jokes about going on a killing spree with her
Right.
boyfriend. And she's like,
well,
it's not funny.
He brings up the junk food defense, which was the defense that the guy that killed Harvey Milk tried to use. That he had had so much junk food that it made him crazy enough to want to murder somebody.
Wow.
And then he talks about like when she gives him like whatever. He's like, well, cane me in Singapore. Which is that guy that went to Singapore and tagged up some shit and got caned. Remember that?
Yes, yeah.
Like
I do
he's just a
remember that.
constant. He's just like reference.
Gotcha. So David sneaks up behind her and covers her eyes.
Again.
Guess who?
And she's like screaming, "Get
Don't
away from
touch me!
Is
Help!
there no security at the? Are they at school?
They're at school. And
Where's the-
Gary has to
anybody?
insert himself, which for Gary almost died by this man's hand.
I know,
The
and Gary
brave,
steps up.
brave Gary.
Bless
Our boy.
Gary. Our boy Gary.
Is a
I'm
good
so
boy.
proud of him.
She should marry Gary.
Marry Gary.
She runs off, and David backs down and leaves because he realizes like everyone in the school
Right,
is watching
like,
this happen.
And still not an adult, no security,
Nope.
no on-campus officer, resource officer, like nothing.
nope, not even
Nothing.
a campus aide.
Nope, nothing.
So that night, Margo shows up to Nicole's with no makeup, all covered up with clothes for the first
Well,
time, hair slicked back.
First, isn't this where oh wait. No. Oh yeah, I guess so. Yeah,
So she shows up that night, and Nicole is playing some Street Fighter game.
That's what I
with
was saying. Is that Street Fighter?
Toby, not
Kobe.
with Toby. And Margo's like, why won't you take my calls and all
Right.
this stuff?
And she's like, how can you act like nothing? Like, that's what worries me.
Because Margo doesn't realize she
No.
knows she fucked her boyfriend.
Right. And she was like, what did he tell you? And she's like, no, I was there. I
And
fucking
Margo's
saw that
flirting
shit.
with her like 10-year-old little brother.
I know. When are you going to grow up so I can ravage you?
Ew.
Gross, Margo.
So
Especially after you've been fucking Logan.
Yeah, Nicole's like, leave him alone, and she storms off. They go outside, and she's like, I can't believe you can stand there all cool and fine, like nothing ever
Right.
happened. And she's like, sorry, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Right. And she's like, you know exactly what I'm talking
And that's
about.
when she's like, who told you?
Who
Did David
told
tell you?
She was like, no.
And then she's like, he forced me. He made me, which, I mean, he did.
It was very clear
That he forced her.
that he grabbed her by the back of the fucking head. Like, if anything, she should be freaked the fuck out and like, oh my God, what is going on here? Like,
Yeah.
tell me what is happening. with
right?
these
What just
people.
happened? Because that did not look like she seduced her boyfriend.
No, not in the slightest. Like,
No.
this is where
she was fully
this is
fucking
where
the
it
same
kind
grease
of
ball she'd been
flips.
fucking. Yeah.
This is where it kind of flips a little bit, where Margo does not deserve this shit. Like, Margo is a bad friend.
but she's
But
not.
Nicole should
right.
have pressed and said, okay, what is happening? Because I was there and I saw him grab you by the back of the fucking head and
throw
everyone
you
was
over his
smoking
shoulder.
meth.
Yeah.
And like, what is happening here? Because I feel like that would have maybe not resulted in what happens later.
And so Nicole goes inside and slams the door, and Margo leaves, but she comes back out like she was gonna stop her and say
she's
something
like,
else.
you're my
but-
only friend.
Yeah. And Dad's watching all this on the security camera.
Yes, he sees all this go down.
And Margo's driving down the road in her little Rabbit when here come David in his Corvair.
Oh, we got
honking and
cars. We got
flashing the
cars.
lights. Yep.
Yeah, like he's
Pulling
they're
up
like,
beside her menacingly. Pull over.
pull over. Yeah, and she's like, no. They're like playing chicken and like.
Which
he
why does
runs
she
in-
care? He's the one on the wrong side of the road.
She
Just
should have
drive.
bumped his ass off when there was
Yes.
that bend in the road when it went off a cliff.
Totally.
She should have bumped his ass out. Nobody would have missed his ass. Margo.
And
I
so
mean, I don't know if you want to be a murderer. Like, I feel like I'm like way more comfortable with it. I don't know in the moment, but I feel like I'm more comfortable with it in the moment.
Yeah,
I probably
feel
would have
like
killed
I
the
would
guy.
have tried to.
I
would
would have killed the guy. He's not nice. It's not like I was
No.
like, oh, I was like mistaken and
Yeah.
killed a nice guy. Like, no, I'm saving people.
Right.
I'm saving people.
He could just fall off a cliff. He could still be alive.
No one's gonna care.
So she veers off the road, stops. She's crying, and he's like, "What the fuck do you think you're doing? What
What did
say
you
to
say to
Nicole?"
her? She's like, I didn't fucking tell her shit.
And he smacks her and drags her out of the car. Lying
Right.
fucking whore.
You tell her, you make it all better.
And she's like, "Oh,
He's like, why are you fucking crying? You liked it.
oh."
Oh, you fucking asshole. You asshole.
So that night, he comes to the Walker's door to wait. You know what? Is it? It might be time
Do we
to take
gotta do
another
it?
break.
Do we gotta
have to?
do it?
'Cause I
Because are
still
we
got-
about to get to the tattoo? And I have a whole
I got
story
4
about that.
pages, I think, 3 or 4 pages left. So do we want to? We're at about an hour. You want to take a quick break?
Well, we have to get into the whole home invasion thing, so maybe we should.
All right.
And if we don't, we'll take it out.
All right. We'll be right back. We're back.
We are back.
And David is back.
Yes, he
At the
sure
Walker's
is.
door.
Yep.
I was just wondering if you'd be so kind as to let me explain a few things.
No.
Dad is like, look, I'm not interested in understanding you.
Nope.
I
I'm
just
only
want you
interested
away."
in getting you away from my daughter. So bye. Get
He
out of
shuts the door in
here.
his face and locks it.
Mm-hmm.
And Nicole's watching. She thinks her dad watches
Right.
him walk away on the security camera.
Mm-hmm.
And then Dad gets called to work.
Yep.
And then we see David in the mirror at home.
Giving himself a prison tattoo, which would have been hilarious if he had done it backwards because he was looking in
Because
the
he's
mirror.
doing it in the mirror.
But he didn't. He
Oh.
did it for real. And he like wipes it off and it says Nicole
Forever.
forever.
I'm going to make my husband get that tattoo.
Oh, you should. All crooked like it is.
All crooked.
All crooked. He needs a third nipple.
I'll
though.
have him get a third nipple tattooed on.
Well, apparently this is part of what that scrap storyline, the one that I was talking about, was that David's mother, say hi to your mother for me.
You go say hi to your motherfucker.
I want to say hi to your mother for me. His mother was Eve McCall, who was a cheerleader in high school, and she was like gang raped
Oh.
by a bunch of like football players or like popular dudes or whatever. And one of them was Steve.
Oh.
And that resulted in David
what?
being born.
Whoa.
So he goes back and uses his half sister to get revenge on his
father?
rape father.
So he's banging his half sister in the
That's
in
what
one
and
of the
so
scrap
the
storylines.
tattoo, Nicole Forever, is
Nicole
like
for
Nicole
Eva.
for Eva, which was his mother's name.
Wow.
So I'm kind of glad they scrapped it because weird.
Yeah.
But Steve, he's kind of he gives me the
Yeah,
That guy kind of
yeah.
gives me the I don't really like that guy. I don't know what it is. He's probably fine. He's probably a nice guy. I don't know what he'd do in his off time, but I don't like that guy.
Yeah,
I don't
I
like
don't
that
know.
guy. Ever since fucking what was that crime scene show?
Oh. What was the show he was in?
CSI.
Yeah, yes. Yeah.
I like the other one with the other creepy dude, David Caruso. Yeah.
all the puns.
Oh, that one was wild.
Mm-hmm.
Wild. I love that fucking show. It was weirder. That's why I liked it. Anyhow, go on.
She knows I'm over here looking at my thing. I'm all.
I know. Go.
So Dad drops Nicole off at school, and he's like, "Look, the school and security.
No,
so
there is no security. There is no fucking security. Who knows?
And yet,
Security knows. It's
there
a lie.
David is. As soon as Dad leaves, Dave is right there in the goddamn bushes. There,
Yep.
David be again.
There to David be creeping, sneaking, peeping.
And Nicole gets out of school, and she wants Gary to come to the mall, but he can't.
No, he's got to go do some shit. So he hops, skips, and jumps through the fucking wooded.
What? Yeah. So
He skips off. He's like, "Oh, hey, Toby Bear, hey, you."
Laura and Toby and Nicole go to the mall, and Gary goes off alone into the woods.
Yep.
And hey, Gary.
Hey, Gary.
And he's talking about knocking down walls
Right,
and
like,
getting moved to different places.
Do you know where I'm from? Do you know where? And he's like, "No, I don't want to fucking talk about any of this." He's like, "Yeah, they would just put me behind walls. But funny thing was, I would just beat on them.
Moist, fleshy walls getting in
Right.
my way. silly people. Knock them down.
I would knock them down."
He's now David walking. And Gary tries to run off, but he
Right
fucking
now,
chases
he's
him like
David walking, but then he becomes David running when Gary
yes.
runs. And then this fucking flip.
I know he fully flips over this log,
He
and then David
flips
just
over-
snaps his neck like, "Whoa!"
He turns his head completely around. Like, what the fuck? I mean, I guess he told him.
Went
I
from
just hit
0 to 100 in like
warm
2
fleshy
seconds.
walls. I was hitting your daughter's warm fleshy
Fleshy
walls.
Oh. So Dad goes to leave from work, and his car is all smashed to shit in the parking garage.
He sees a little note on this says, now
pop
pop both your
your
cherries.
And Dad makes his coworker give him his car.
He's like, I need to borrow your car. I need to
You get a ride
commandeer
with
this
someone
vehicle. He was like, it's my daughter.
So David's now watching Nicole out with her step family at the mall.
He's stalking her at the mall, and she goes to the bathroom.
Dad's trying to call from his car phone.
Right, and
nobody's
no one's answering
answering
because they're not at home. They're at the mall.
And does he call Margo and asks, "Is she with you?"
He does. He
Yeah.
calls Margo, and he's like, okay, she's not with her, but do you know where David lives? And I guess she tells him
Well,
where
of course
he
she
lives.
do. That's where she was when.
Well, I know, but I don't
Yeah.
know why she would tell him.
Because she's mad now. She got raped. She's like,
well,
sure.
yes, I know, but like, you're gonna send just Nicole's dad over there?
She don't care.
She doesn't have a whole lot of experiences with dads. Like,
No.
yeah, like he's willing. The heart is willing, but the flesh is weak.
And David corners Nicole in the bathroom and backs her into the stall.
Oh my God. And he's like, it's not here. It's not here. But it's here. Remember when I fingered you?
The only part of you that can hear the real me is not your ears. It's not your eyes.
It's your pussy.
I know it.
You
know
always
it.
remember
Your
your
daddy
first-
knows
Your
it.
daddy even
Everybody knows it.
Everybody knows it. Everybody knows it, Nicole.
That's why they're trying to keep us apart.
Apart.
Can't let them take that away from us. Your pussy belongs to me and you.
Your pussy belongs to me and you.
And he kisses her and tells her he loves her, and he leaves because
She's,
some
like,
other lady
weeping.
is coming in, and she's like weeping. So then
See, we're not worried about anything but straight men coming into
to
the bathroom to assault you.
Exactly.
So yeah, like she runs off, I guess, like whatever. And meanwhile, Dad has gone to
The trap house.
the trap house, and he sees all this fuckery happening here. He goes up to David's room, which is like this
and kicks down his padlocked door.
But what he finds inside,
The Nicole shrine.
the Nicole shrine with her as like the
Virgin Mary and their
with that
family
face
photo and her
that he's
panties.
like put his face on like Daddy's face and like the pant. Like, did she not notice those panties had gone
were missing.
Like,
I know
it
they were a
seemed like it
matching
was-
set.
Thank you.
You would notice.
Thank you.
You notice
Thank
when the
you.
matching set half goes missing.
Thank you.
So,
So
yeah.
he finds the little bracelet on the ring box that says that was Daddy's girl, but it's scratched
David's
out.
girl.
It's David's girl.
And he fucks up all his shit.
oh,
he tears
he
all this
smashes
shit
his
down.
shit. You know, he's all dad mad.
David's in the car with Logan and the boys, and they get home to find the door open.
Oh my God. And they go through there, and Logan is so sad about that cue stick. He's like,
pool
he's like,
cue.
my pool cue. Like his chin is quivering almost.
The big screen TV's broken. The drums are broken.
Yep.
David's room's all fucked up.
Right? And he's
And
like,
David's like, I know who did it.
I know who did it.
Yeah,
He's like,
pay
well,
this-
let's go fucking get him.
Pay this dude a fucking visit then.
An eye for an eye, a tooth for a fucking tooth.
So at home, Laura's telling Nicole, look, I let her down. I let you down. I should have seen it coming. And
Right.
she's like, I don't blame you. And then and Dad's calling the cops, and they don't have enough to haul him in
No, they
still.
can't do nothing.
They are, of course, no help because the cops do not prevent crime.
No, they do not. They'll show up, shoot your dog, and then maybe do a
They'll
report.
over punish you and everyone around you for a crime, but
Of
they will not
course.
prevent a crime.
No, they will never prevent a crime. That's why I be like ACAM.
And so the David and the boys are pull up, smoking some meth in the car or whatever.
So, like, they gotta get hyped up for this shit.
Remember, Nicole ain't part of this game.
She ain't part of this game.
Ding dong, ding dong.
And it's Margo. She comes over crying.
Yeah, Margo's there in tears. They
Gary's
found Gary
dead.
beaten to death in the woods.
Beaten to death? No. No, he had his head turned completely around.
Yeah, I
just
don't
like
know
The
why she said
Exorcist.
beaten to
Like,
death,
I
but
don't,
that's what
maybe
she
they
said.
didn't release that particular piece of information
Yeah, maybe
because
not.
it's disturbing.
And Kaiser's outside, and David calls him over into the woods.
And Toby's in the house with the little dog whistle. Here he comes through the fucking doggy door.
Severed Kaiser head through the doggy door,
traumatized
which
Toby.
I don't know how he severed that head. I don't know what tools
I know. Well,
he
they had
but
tools. They had like a drill. He drilled it off. They had like shit. They had
I
like they
know.
had a hammer. They hammered it off. I don't know what they fucking did. They had stuff. They had weapons.
And Dad's still on the line with the cops trying to get help when the line goes dead.
Oh no, the phones are dead. No siren. No entry without the code. But Dad, David's got the code.
Oh, shit.
Oh fuck.
And he slams it shut just in time as
Well-
David puts the code in.
Right, and he goes in there. He's like, "It all would have been different, Mr. Walker.
Should have allowed nature to take its course.
But now you better let me in the fucking house."
Dude. He is so scary.
I
And
know.
didn't you say this was
It
just
was
something
supposed
he did?
to be. It ended up on a fucking gag reel. It was like an ad lib, and I don't know if the director or the producer was like, "No, that needs to be in there." And it
That
ended
was
up,
scary as fuck.
It was scary.
That will give you the fear.
Yes,
Marky Mark's face all up,
Marky Mark.
fish-eyed.
Get me in the fucking house. Yikes.
Bangs are coming from all sides.
Oh
They're
man,
throwing
there's all
rocks at the
kinds
windows.
of shit. He's like all. Logan's up there like.
Yeah, up at the skylight, gyrating.
It's nasty.
So Dad turns the lights off, closes all the blinds, sends the kids upstairs, and then the doorbell rings.
Right.
And Dad's like, "Look, no one's gonna hurt our family."
Yep.
But now you hear a drill,
Yep. Like
Coming
he's
through the
in
glass.
the window.
and Dad stops him. And is that when? Is that when she drills his hand, or that might be right after this?
No, I
can't
think
remember.
that might be afterwards. But like the kids are upstairs. Margo, Nicole, and Toby are all
Yeah.
upstairs. And is this where he sees, like he's all rocking back and forth on the bed, but he sees somebody coming up to the window up there?
I have.
There's more stuff before
There's
that.
more
They're like,
banging. Logan's
they
out there with
push
the
the
battering ram,
refrigerator in front of
They're
the- yeah.
pushing. They're barricading the door. Margot's freaking out, and that's when little brother sees the shadow.
right, and like Nicole grabs the umbrella and like pops him right off the
Yes,
fucking
and he
roof.
falls to the ground. And an axe breaks through the front door. The parents are still trying
Yes.
to barricade with more shit.
Right, and Nicole starts flashing SOS to security.
Larry out at the gate
Right.
security.
Poor Larry.
Poor
He is not
Larry.
equipped for this shit.
He tries to call and he gets a disconnected message and he's like, "Oh fuck!"
He's
And
like,
he
"Ah,
heads up
fuck,
to the
I gotta
house.
go up there." So he like shows up.
Well, and I have a question: what good is a gated community you can get in a back way through the
Right?
woods?
Right?
If it's not gated all the way around, what good is the gate security? If you can come in
Nothing,
through a wood
apparently.
road,
Apparently.
because they didn't
Through
come
a
in
wood
through
road.
Larry.
No, they didn't.
They got in
didn't
through
go
the
past
woods.
there. Yeah. How did they get up there?
So yeah,
In a
you're paying a
Corvair.
lot of fucking money to be in a gated, secure community that is not gated nor secure.
Well, that and like if you look at their house, like it's wooded and it's surrounded by water on three sides. Like you would feel pretty secure in a place
Right?
like that. It's like
And
kind
yet
of
They
remote.
can still get to you, no problem.
They sure can. They sure can, and they do.
They do. So yeah, so Larry's on his way,
Mm-hmm.
and Laura grabs the drop drill, and that's when she
That's
drills
when
the
she-
back
yes.
of the dude's hand, and he's like, "I need to go to the hospital."
Bitch.
We're in the middle of a home invasion.
Seriously,
No
no,
one's
you
going to the
cannot
fucking
go to the fucking
hospital.
hospital. Like you decided to come through here. It's just your hand.
And a car's coming, so they're like, "Logan, let's get out of here." And it's Larry, and Nicole's like, "Okay, it's gonna be all right. Larry's coming."
Right.
But David's still lurking in the shadows.
Of course.
And security tells him, "Put your hands on the hood."
He's
And
like, "Oh, I'm just leaving my
visiting
girlfriend." But Larry's not buying his shit.
No.
He's like, "Nah, put your shit on the fucking hood. You know, like get it, whatever." And he's like, "I got 2 guns, one for each of yous."
And Logan tries to club him from behind, but Larry's no fool.
No, but he kind of is because there's another guy.
Yeah,
you
Dad
gotta
walks
check your
up.
6.
Dad walks up
Oh,
and knocks
yeah.
Logan out and gives David a good wallop, but he don't go down.
No.
And then the other dude comes out of the bushes and shoots
Right, and
Larry.
then Dad's like, "Oh fuck!" and he tries to go running
Oops.
back in the house, but can't.
Yeah,
because
maybe you should have
Logan
waited
gets
for
up,
them
he's
to
like-
be cuffed and secure, Dad, before
Nope.
you ran out to be a
He's
hero.
like running on pure adrenaline. So like Logan kicks his ass.
Yep. And David's like, "We're taking this inside. Get
Mm-hmm.
the cuffs and the guns."
Right, because they just shoot Larry. Larry dead.
Yeah, he did. Nicole
I know,
and
poor
Laura
Larry.
see them on the cameras and out the window, and Dad's
Laura's
like telling
no.
Laura,
He's like,
"Don't
no,
open the
don't
door."
let him in the house. Don't fuck it. Like I
But
don't.
they
give
got a
shit.
gun to Dad's head,
got,
so
like,
of
2
course,
guns to his
yes,
head.
she lets him in,
Of course she do.
and Toby's up there like, I could fit through my bathroom window. So they send
Right.
Toby out to
He's
escape.
like, I could go get help. And she's like, no. And he's like already traumatized. So he's like, no, I could fucking do it.
I could do it.
So he gets past the guy that's out there just securing the perimeter. Is that the hand drill guy?
I guess. I think so.
But like he doesn't see him. Like he hears it, but he looks just in time. Like he drops down into the shadows just in time.
And he gets to the car and he's trying to use the car phone to call for help, but it's
Mm-hmm.
not working because the car's not on. And
Right.
meanwhile, Logan breaks into Nicole's bedroom, is like
Right.
manhandling her on the bed.
I know. And like Margo tries to help, but he's like, no, fuck that. I want to rape this one.
Right? And they're struggling in the hall, and Laura's yelling, but her mouth's taped up.
Oh, I know. She's like, you leave those girls alone. He's like punching Margo in the face.
And the kid's out in the car, and he turns the car on to make the car phone turn on, and the dude outside shoots the back window
Right.
out.
And he like kind of holds
But
down.
he misses,
so that-
he misses him. And Nicole hears the shots. She's screaming.
Right.
And,
And,
the,
then
kid
like the
just
kid just
backs
runs
over
him over.
the dude.
Hey,
Hell
good
yeah,
for you,
Toby.
Good for you. Don't even think about it. Like, who gives a shit? The kid's already fucking traumatized.
And he's calling 911. He's already killed one dude, and he's calling 911.
Yeah,
this
Toby
kid's
to
the
the
hero
fucking
of the
rescue.
fucking film.
Toby to the fucking rescue, man.
And David picks up Dad and carries him off. Time to give away the bride.
Oh, yeah. He takes him upstairs, and then he finds Logan up there fiddling with Nicole, and he shoots
Just
him right in
shoots
the fucking
him
head.
immediately.
I mean,
Just casually.
and he was like, you know, all brides cry on their wedding day, and like he goes to shoot her dad in the fucking. And
Come
she's like,
kiss
no, no,
him
no, no.
goodbye.
Right? And she's like, no. Like I'm not going to be into it if you shoot my dad in front of me.
And she's like, look, he's like, I tried so hard to be nice. He wants you to be his little girl forever. You don't want that,
Forever.
do you?
You don't
Forever,
want that
ever?
forever, ever.
And Laura wakes up Margo on the floor. They unlock Dad's cuffs. And
Yes.
David knocks him down, puts a gun to his head, tells him to forever hold his peace.
Forever hold your peace.
But Nicole comes up
Oh,
and stabs him in the back. With whatever that thing was he won her at the carnival. Like
Oh, yeah, it was a
flute or
peace
something?
pipe.
Oh, a peace pipe.
yeah.
And the dad gets up and they grapple, and Dad just throws him out the goddamn window.
He throws him like 30 feet
like
onto the rocks. Like
And
that
then
was
just-
like dad's strength.
the end.
Yeah, that's it. Like no
He's
questions.
dead. The sirens
Right out
are
to the
coming.
fucking. It's all over. Let's hug.
That was a super fast conclusion.
Seriously.
That was like a hell
So
of a
like
climax.
everybody else that wasn't dead or injured ran off because Logan and Maki were
guess.
dead.
Yeah.
Because he just like and he dies because like he threw him 30 feet.
Oh yeah.
He threw him like over the pool. He was so mad.
Super dad.
You don't fuck up with his daughter.
No. You don't.
Forever.
Never ever.
Never ever. Never.
And I don't know that this movie doomed us because I
mean,
don't think I ever got hot for Mark Wahlberg in this. It was never a thing where like
But I do love this movie. I will watch
oh yeah,
this
it's a good movie.
It's hilarious. I can't hear Wild Horses by the Sundays without, like I was telling you outside, like it
Yeah.
comes up on the work shuffle every once in a while.
And you just start thinking of finger
I
banging on a roller
can't,
coaster.
I can't not, like that's the first and only thing that comes to mind. Yep.
So we have one message this week.
Mm.
Finally found a moment to listen to your Tu Wong Fu Thanks for Everything Julie Newmar episode. She wrote it all out.
Wow.
And was wildly entertained as usual. Thanks again for never failing to mitigate the tedium of doing housework. Even oh no, I just closed it.
Oh,
Even
no.
folding laundry is almost fun when I'm listening to Doom Generation podcast. This is Elizabeth of Meat for Tea, by the way.
Oh,
So
excellent.
yeah, she does the Meat for Tea podcast, which is a way more cerebral show that's about like
Oh.
literature and poetry and
Smart.
smart stuff.
Smart.
Yeah.
Oh.
But she likes us, which
Oh,
I'm very
well,
surprised.
I'm surprised with your being so smart.
You're so smart, Elizabeth.
Thank you, Elizabeth. We do appreciate it.
And if you want us to read a message from you, there are lots of ways that you can get that to us.
You could get at us so many ways.
You can leave a voicemail.
Yep.
702-720-DOOM.
3666.
And we will play that on the show. You can leave it as yourself. You can leave it as a celebrity, a
can make it up.
character. It doesn't have to actually have to do anything
No.
with the show.
Mm.
I mean, of course, we appreciate feedback, but like, it just be silly.
I mean,
entertaining.
work
If it's
out a
funny,
voice that you've been working on.
If it
work
makes
out a
us
bit.
laugh, it goes on.
Yeah, absolutely. It could be anonymous. You don't have to tell us who you are.
Right? You can also text 702-720-DOOM, and I will read it out, which is what Elizabeth did.
Yes.
You can DM us anywhere. You can email doomgenerationpodcast@gmail.com. And if you want to support us, you can go to patreon.com/doomgeneration.
That'd be cool.
And tonight, if you're listening to this on the day it comes out,
Yes, we have a live.
our
coming
YouTube
at ya.
live stream should be coming at you. So check that out.
Yes.
Um,
Fingers crossed.
And what else we got? We got all kinds of things. Go to the link tree on our Instagram, Doom Generation Pod.
Oh,
Go
yeah. You got to get to the tree and you got to get to the Instagram because that's where you see
That's our photo
the
edits.
photo edits, which are so good. We're
So
going
you
to
gotta
be
go check
fingering
those
something on a
out.
roller coaster
There'll be something
with this
fingering
one, I'm
our
sure.
Doom Doodles feature fingering this week.
Our Doom Doodles
Doom
feature
Doodles
fingering.
feature diddling. Our Doom Diddles. It's Doom diddling this week
Doom
instead of Doom doodling.
Flicking the Doom bean.
Yes, we are. So we hope you had a great February.
Oh, yes. I
'Cause
hope
it's
you
the
enjoyed
end
your
of the month.
February. We had to fuck it up for the end of February because the other two that we thought we were going to be suspicious were not suspicious.
Yeah,
at
they
all.
were
Like,
fine.
decent
The last two movies
romantic
we covered,
things.
yeah,
so we, had
were
to
really.
come through hard with fear.
And then don't we have coming up? Is our next
We
one?
have Women's History Month
Bum, bum,
coming
bum.
up. Womp, 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 womp. That's your clue. Womp, womp, womp,
You're
womp.
gonna hear screaming.
Screaming, probably.
On the next episode.
Yeah, so we're going to have to try to
I feel like
regulate
we should
that.
just watch that scene live. Like when we get to there, we
I
should
think we
turn on
should. I
the
think
sound
we
and
should,
watch the
because I'll
little
watch it
YouTube video
anytime.
just so
I'll
they
watch
can
it
hear
anytime.
how we react
Yes,
to that
every time.
every time.
Every
Never
time,
gets old.
bitch. That's the clue. So we will see you next month. And until then,
Later, Doomers.